Jobs directory. Pending jobs. Oh, we've got 2. Amsel's face winks onto the screen. Yeah, it wouldn't be a job. It wouldn't be anything in this game if it didn't have a lot of dialogue in it. Here you will find the complete transcript of my conversation with Herr Fuchs. Fuchs? Fuchs. Fuchs. I guess that's it. A potential client. The job seems to be relatively straightforward and the payout is reasonable. One word of caution before you proceed. There are aspects of this run that you might find morally troubling. Be sure to read and understand the specifics of the job before accepting. If you do accept, you will be expected to carry out the requirements of the job in full. After reading the transcript, you may choose whether or not to accept the job. If you respond in the affirmative, our client will be notified and I will make all necessary preparations for the run. Guest. Herr Amsel? Yes, I am here. To whom am I speaking? You may call me Herr Fuchs. I'm going to call him Guest. Very well. Please describe the work that you would like to have done. Straight to the point. I like that. I would like to retain your team services to clean up a mess. My employees dispatched a team of operatives to conduct a quiet operation at a local Schering Pharma AG lab. Unfortunately, they botched the job. The team was eliminated, but we have reliable information that one of the operatives has been taken captive. If this rogue agent were to spill information leading back to my employers, it would lead to a corporate war. A great many lives could be lost. My employers would like nothing more than to prevent such a tragic turn of events. Ah, I see. And you wish to retain my team's services to tie up loose ends? Exactly. The captive operative is a rigger by the name of Thorvald Enstad. We need him neutralized before he can inform on us to his captors. As Enstad and his team have already put the facility on high alert, stealth will not be an option. Your team will need to shoot its way in. Eliminate Enstad and exit the facility. A straightforward enough task, and well within my team's capabilities. What are you offering in terms of pay? 15,000 new yen. This offer is non-negotiable. Very well, I will pass off the offer. So, we basically got to go into a facility, shoot the place up, and then shoot the last surviving member of this team. This is probably a phrase I'm going to say a lot in this, but we really need the money. So I'm going to accept it. We've got another pending. Amsel's face appears on the screen. Samuel Beckenbauer has approached me with an offer for work. Apparently, an associate of his has learned some disturbing details regarding the Berlin chapter of the Humanist Polyclub. Polyclub? You would like to contract your team to investigate these rumors. Beckenbauer was unwilling to discuss the specifics of the job in your absence. He was requested that you speak with him in person at your earliest convenience. Oh, okay, so I can't accept the job from there. Well, I could go and talk to him right now, but I feel like we've had enough talking for now. We're gonna do this, other job. Not before I spend karma, though. Alright, so I have 11 to work with. I don't have a lot of money to work with, too, so I feel like I need to kind of just work with what I've got at the moment. The unfortunate thing is that I blew money on, oh, sorry, I blew all of my elemental fetishes, so I think I need to go and buy some. What can I get for 11? That'd be 8, and then I can get maybe a third into range combat. I don't really need the additional weapon slot, but chance to hit with ranged weapons would be amazing right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this, and this, and that. Cool. That'll spend all my karma. Talk until tired. No. I meant, like, there's been too much story, not enough action. Like, I want to get into a mission now. I'm still going to be talking, because there's going to be dialogue during the missions as well, but standing around learning about missions rather than actually doing them is probably not going to be the way to do it. At least I think it would be less interesting if I was to just stand in the cruise bazaar for whatever time I have remaining, talking to everyone. So we are going to go on a mission. I am quickly going to drop into Alonon's store and see what he is selling. If he's selling anything that I could grab. Doesn't look like it. He has got some fetishes that I could use. Who do I want though? I got the choice of water, fire, earth, and air. I really like air because they use lightning, and lightning does a lot of AP damage, which is usually pretty crippling for any person you run into. So, I'm just gonna buy one. I feel like I'll need to buy medkits and that as well. Actually, you know what? I am going to quickly save before I do this. Because if I have to go out of the mission and rebuy stuff again, I don't want to have spent any money. So I'm going to create a new save. Alright. So I'm going to buy one elemental fetish. Actually, in fact, I'm going to sell some stuff first. Yeah, I'm going to sell that. Not going to sell that. Sell that. Sell that. I want to keep all of those. That I'm fine with keeping. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. I don't really need that either. Well, I don't need it at all. So I'll sell all that. Oh, I got a good pool of money now. Outfits. Already have that. So he hasn't got any armor for me. Consumables. Yeah, so we're going to get one of these. Do you want to take two of these? I may as well take both of them because if... I'm not going into a mission without these and just having Alexei die. Because Alexei dying is... and game over. Anyone else dying is like, okay, you obviously can't use them for the rest of the mission. And they'll be fine after the mission comes to an end. One thing I do need to do is get at least one medkit. I need to get at least one. What I'm also going to have to do when I get more karma is invest into spellcasting, just so I can have a heal spell, because that will help me infinitely in these. I need medical supplies. Only basic medkits. Well, in that case I'm going to get two, because basic medkits don't heal a lot, but they'll heal enough in tandem. It's probably... I don't know if it's actually more efficient to get, like, two basics rather than an advanced. I think if you have skill in something that improves the healing you get from either of those, then you get some kind of bigger bonus out of using a bigger one. But I think for someone like Alexei, who doesn't have a lot of skill in that, it's probably not going to be that different. You know what? We're going to talk to this guy and see what happens, and then we'll go into a mission. At the sound of your approach, the orc turns to face you. He wears a severe expression, but there is kindness in his eyes. Guten Tag, elf. Can I help you with something? Yeah. You wanted me to do a job. Yes. Yes, I do. Thank you for coming so promptly. He takes a deep breath, slowly releases it, and looks you in the eye. Tell me, what do you know about the Humanist Polyclub? Well, I know they're an anti-metahuman hate group. That I know for a fact. Because I did play this game a little bit before doing the stream/recording of it. He nods. The largest and most well-funded of its kind. The instigators of the Night of Rage, and the enemy of everything that I stand for. Night of Rage? A worldwide race riot that took place in February of 2039. Thousands of innocent metahumans were attacked, beaten, and killed. Women and children were corralled in warehouses for protection, and then burned alive when the structures were put to the torch. This is what the humanist stands for. This is the agenda that its leaders strive to advance. They will not be satisfied until all metahumans everywhere are driven from the face of the earth. What does this have to do with me? Yesterday, I overheard one of my assistants talking on his comm. He was yelling, clearly agitated. I questioned him, and he confided in me. What he told me made my blood run cold. What did he tell you? His brother, Tuck, works a smuggling operation based in Shatton Nest. Apparently, these smugglers have accepted a contract from Volker Stahl. Stahl is a vicious ideologue and the leader of the Berlin chapter of Humanus. The cargo that the smugglers are delivering includes a large quantity of an extremely hazardous chemical agent. Naturally, this fills me with unease. Whatever Stahl has planned, it can't be good for us. I want you to infiltrate the smuggling operation that is delivering the shipment. Once you arrive at the Humanus compound, you will find out what they're planning to do with the chemical and put a stop to it. Wouldn't it be easier to just hijack the shipment? What makes you think they'll talk to me? I'm no more human than you are. That's actually a good point. Many of the smugglers are metahumans. If you travel with them, Humanus will allow you into their compound. The rest will be up to you. Why would they deal with a metahuman? Presumably because it's the best option available. Stahl is nothing if not a pragmatist. He will work with metahumans when it suits him to do so. When he's finished with them, he'll discard them and move on. Wouldn't it be easier to just hijack the shipment? Yeah. I've contacted sister organizations across Berlin and taken up collection. Between us, we have raised 22,000 new yen as a payment. I trust that this will be sufficient. Yeah, why not? Excellent. I'm relieved. I will make the arrangements for your meeting with the smugglers. Their leader is an elf who calls himself Maxim. Take the U-Bahn to Shatton Nest. You will... Shatton Nest, and you will find him waiting there. Best of luck to you, Alexei, and good hunting. Know that you are doing a great thing for the metahumans of Berlin. Your efforts will not go unrecognized. You know what? Just because that is so... or if that feels so abhorrent and at least sounds kind of interesting, I'm gonna go for that. Like, I'm not... There's always things about... Oh, Dietrich's here. There's always things about this when, like, someone tells you one side of a story that I'm like, I'm gonna run into this mission and they're not gonna be that bad. Like, Night of Rage was a misunderstanding or some shit like that. I don't know, but this sounds like a really interesting mission, so we're gonna do it. A lone figure stands in the U-Bahn station. Dietrich. He raises a bottle at your approach, then tosses it away. Figured I'd run into you here, boss. Wanted to be sure that I caught you before you headed off. He takes a deep breath, then slowly releases it. Looks you in the eye. Alexei, we have to have a talk about this Humanus gig. I'm listening. Well, I've got a history with Humanus. I fought him back in 39 during the Night of Rage. Hell of a thing that was. I remember the terror, senseless violence, murdered children. I remember this little dwarf boy. They stuffed his body in the gutter, Alexei. I can still see his face, all bruised and broken. To this day, it makes my blood boil. Anyway, long story short, we beat him. Berlin's punks and anarchists all came together and we stomped the living dreck out of those racist pigs. Okay, it sounds like they're pretty racist, so, well, let's bust them up anyway, but... A lot of good people died that night, but we put down some of the bad ones too. Let me guess, you want to come on the Humanist run so you can finish the job. That's part of it, sure, but it's not the whole story. I don't just want to come on this run, boss. I have to come. It's my nephew, Alexander. He signed on with Humanus, driven to it by his worthless sack of a dad, no doubt. I take it that his father, your brother, is a Humanus member too? Nah, that'd take a level of conviction, a quality that he thoroughly lacks. My best guess is that he's treating Humanus as a boarding school. They feed and house their recruits, and that's money that he'd rather spend on himself. So he dumped his boy off on them, never mind the fact that they're fascist swine. Dietrich looks you in the eyes. I've got to get Alexander out of there, Alexei, before it's too late. Those monsters are experts at warping young minds. It's how their disgusting ideology propagates. So I'm asking you, as a personal favor, to let me come along on the run. I have to get into that compound, Alexei. I have to find Alexander. I have to turn him around before those animals make him do something unforgivable. Not going to keep you from something like this, Dietrich. Not at all. Thanks, boss. Never doubted you'd bring me, of course. You're too good a man for that. But it's good to hear it all the same. Alright. I'm going to make a quick round. What can I buy? I wonder if I can buy a sniper rifle yet, and how expensive it is. I have cash and need weapons. Question is, do I even have the capability for it? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Those are the only sniper rifles he has? Yeah. Well, it's not that expensive, all things considered, so it should be fine. Yep. Confirm. Cool. Cool. Still don't really have many spells here. That's where I've got to put more karma into willpower and stuff like that. Because I will need extra spell spaces, spell slots once I get more powerful abilities. Alright, so we're going to go to the Humanist Polyclub compound. In addition to your team, your fixer has access to a small network of mercenaries in the Berlin area. These runners appear below your core team on the runner selection screen and can be hired on mission-to-mission basis. As you complete missions, both your team members and the available mercenaries will periodically gain access to new equipment and abilities. Any new items, spells, weapons, or weapon abilities that a runner gains will automatically be available for use the next time you take them on a mission. Sweet. Well, Dietrich's in. Glory also in. Question is, who else do we want in this team? In terms of money, Blitz is the obvious option. And I'm going to put him in here just in case, because I don't think I'm going to find anyone else. In fact, if these are the only mercenaries, then I'm not finding anyone else. What do we got? Adept, Decker, Rigger, Shaman, Street Samurai. Yeah, no. It's going to be Blitz for sure. Yeah. Confirm. Let's go to Shatton Nest. So, Sushi, I can't put you in the team. You don't exist in the Shadowrun universe. Hell, I don't exist in the Shadowrun universe. I would if I could. Sushi. If I could create characters, I'd create one for you just because. The U-Bahn rattles to a halt at the edge of Kreuzberg. You've only a few blocks away from Shatton Nest, the Kais that Maxim and his smugglers call home. According to Samuel, they should be expecting you. Yep. Don't need to do anything with that. Look, boss, I just wanted to thank you for bringing me along on this one. It means a lot. Don't sweat it. Even Shadowrunners have families. He nods. Alexander, he's a good kid, you know. If I'd been there for him, if I hadn't ran off to Berlin, left him with his worthless sack of a dad, he'd never have fallen in with those humanist pigs in the first place. The expression on Dietrich's face softens, and he claps you on the shoulder. Let's go find my nephew, and let's crack all the humanist skulls we can along the way. The fuckers have it coming more ways than I can count. Alright. Let's go. Ooh, what's this? Phone booth. Oh, is this going to be one of those... Searching the dead drop, you find a package from the telltale markings of the Shock Wellen rider. Yeah, this is what I thought it was. Rehumanist. This is an open request for the information on current and past owners to the Humanist Polyclub. Identifying information, such as home addresses and photographs, is preferred. The presence of this hate group and its supporters will no longer be tolerated within our community. We will expose them to the harsh light of truth. The timely delivery of this information will be well rewarded. Freedom, equality, information, Shock Wellen rider. Alright, what do you want, dude? A rough-looking dwarf with a fire plug build holds out his hand at your approach. Whoa there, Beanpole. I don't know where you think you're headed, but you should turn around and go back. the way you came. I've got business on the other side of the barricade. You want trouble, dwarf? Yeah. He stares at you, an appraising look in his eye. Well, you look like you can handle yourself, but still, I'm telling you, the people out there are bad news. There are gangs on the other side of this barricade who skin you alive as soon as look at you. Trust me, I've gone up against worse. Well then, I'll just have to skin them first. Look, I don't have a choice. I need to get out of here. If I don't, some punk gangs are going to be the least of my problems. I've gone up against interdimensional bugs. The thugs on the street don't concern me. I'm fine with this. He shakes his head. Alright, fine. If that's what you really want, we won't try and stop you. He gestures to the trolls standing behind him. Let him go, Sergey. Or Sergej. I'm gonna go with Sergey, that makes a lot more sense. Anything up here? Nope. Well, there's the team. Shattered nest. Hello, Maxim. The figure at the center of the group shoots you an insolent glance. His fine elvish features match Samuel's description. This must be Maxim, your smuggler liaison. Well, well, if it isn't the muscle that Tuck promised us. Look who it is, everybody, the new hires who have elected to grace us with their presence. Nice of you to join us. He glances at the PDA on his wrist, then looks back up at you. When he speaks again, his voice is sharp and humorless. You're late, chummer. I'm here, that's all that matters. Drop the attitude. Yeah, sorry about that, I got held up at the wall. He lets out a theatrical sigh. Well, you come highly recommended, so I'll overlook it. If we run into trouble, you'll be glad you'll be glad you have me around. His mouth twists into a smirk. I certainly hope so. For your sake. Without another word, he turns and slaps the side of a bulldog step van. A second van of the same design rumbles to life a few feet away. Pile in, people, and be ready. There's rough country between us and the meeting site. We might run into trouble along the way. I sure hope not. I would absolutely hate to get, like, completely murdered just before I even step into the mission. Oh, God. 20 minutes into your trip, the van comes to a screeching halt. Maxim presses his face to the passenger window. From the mix of anger and dread on his face, you can tell that he doesn't like what he sees. Damn it. I knew this was going to happen. I fucking knew it. He cranes his neck around to look you in the eyes. Everybody pile out of the van. And get ready, Alexei. We're going to need some muscle in a second. As you take your position outside the van, you hear a shrill voice bark out an order. A pair of portable gun turrets begins to self-calibrate in response. Sweeping your gaze over the gangers assembled before you, you identify the owner of the voice. A leathery woman with wild hair and a mirthless smile. She calls out again, her voice brimming with pride. Hello out there! Welcome to Rambok territory. Maxim licks his lips, his eyes scanning over the gangers' hastily assembled roadblock. This Kai's belong to Surf Turf. This Kai's belongs to Surf Turf, slag. Has for months. You better clear on out of our way before they show up and force you out. Surf Turf? Who's tunnel rats? They're ancient history. Go ahead and call them if you don't believe me. Her face twists into an ugly smile. Scream as loud as you want. They won't hear you. We buried them last week. Maxim's expression turns stony, but his voice remains calm. Congratulations on your victory. You must have taken some losses in the fight, though. I'm betting you're not at 100%. Why don't you let us cross the bridge in peace? There's no need for any bloodshed today. You know what? You're absolutely right. We don't need to fight. You just pay us a small toll, and we'll be more than happy to let you cross our bridge. I'm thinking, say, 500 new yen per van? That's fucking extortion, by the way. Not the fact that she is soliciting money for this, but the prices are bullshit. Her voice turns cold. Otherwise, you better find another way to get where you're going, because this bridge is ours, and nobody crosses without paying the toll. Nobody. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe this does need to get violent. Maxim turns to you. Get ready to ventilate those assholes, Alexei. We've got a schedule to keep up. What do we got? Help the smugglers. We've got we've got your back. Change of plans. I'll be taking the shipment, the cash, and the delivery, and all of your lives. Negotiate with the gangers. I'm going to negotiate. Good. That's a good idea, pal. That's a real good idea, pal. The ganger boss jeers at Maxim. See that? Your muscle is smarter than you are. You should put him in charge. Maxim wheels around to face you, his face a mask of fury. His voice explodes out in a harsh whisper. Quiet the fuck down. You don't speak for me, and you don't speak for this organization. I'm gonna stare him the fuck down. I know what I'm doing. Let me speak. Maxim stares at you, bristling, but he holds his tongue. After a few seconds, he nods. Do it. You better not fuck this up. Dietrich leans forward to whisper into your ear. His ubiquitous smile has disappeared. This is a waste of time, boss. Let me fry these sons of bitches so that we can get back on task. Maxim steps back, leaving you to negotiate with the Rambok leader. The ganger boss stands there, hands on her hips, awaiting your response. Here's the deal. You let us cross for 750 new yen. That includes the return trip. We renegotiate for future crossings. Dat karma. There is a brief pause, then the Rambok boss yells out a response. You've got yourselves a deal. His eyes go wide. Do you even have 750 new yen? Because that ain't coming out of our cut. Yeah, I've got it. We can't risk getting shot up before the meet. He shakes his head at you. You want to pay them, that's your business. I still think you're crazy, but I won't say no. Cool. So we took a hit to the wallet, but that should be fine.